And this world history is for mains. Okay, again same like post independent India. This section is also there for the mains part of the syllabus, sir. So we will have a look at which sections are included as part of modern world history as part of our syllabus. Okay, and what is the course plan for us? So all of these aspects we are going to discuss first, sir. Okay, so in fact the syllabus for UPSC in world history is usually called as modern world history, sir. Okay, so usually it is called as modern world history. Modern world history is the part of our syllabus, sir. So here, before going into any further discussion, so I just wanted to ask, as I have talked about it already, what is the definition of history, sir? What is the meaning of history? Huh? So it is actually a dialogue between present and past. It is a chronological collection of important events, and what is important is determined on our needs of today. This is the first discussion of mine, is this right? So that is what history means. Here now the second word which is included here is world history, sir. But even though the name world history is included, sir, most of the areas of world history are dominated by the European and American history, sir. The European and American history, they take the center stage in any textbook on world history, sir. Are you following this? There is no escaping this. We have to read about some people who have no relevance to India directly, but the academic syllabus of the world history, it is mainly focusing on the American history on one side. American means USA, not the American continent, sir. USA plus European history पे ज़्यादा focus रहेंगे, लेकिन उसके साथ, okay, these days what UPSC has started doing is it started asking questions on African history. It is asking questions on the history of Southeast Asia. आप समझ लीजिए सर. Then उसके साथ साथ में sometimes they ask questions on the Chinese history. So it means that UPSC is also trying to break away from the European dominated history, sir, and it is trying to focus on the other areas of history too. So whenever I discuss any section of African, Southeast Asian, Chinese or non-European history if I am discussing, consider that it is doubly important, sir. ये यूरोपियन हिस्ट्री में जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स है वो मैं आपको हाईलाइट करने के लिए बोलूंगा, लेकिन कब भी आप नॉन यूरोपियन हिस्ट्री पढ़ रहे हैं उसके समझ लीजिए कि वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. ओके सर, ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है यूरोपियन हिस्ट्री से नॉन यूरोपियन हिस्ट्री, सर. नाउ द थर्ड वर्ड विच इज यूज्ड हियर इज मॉडर्न. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ मॉडर्निटी, सर? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ मॉडर्निटी? After the coming of industries, the age is called as modern age. Is it an apt definition, sir? Very good. Okay, so in the thought process, what is important, sir? Very nice. Okay, so in fact, modernity is a period in history when the mental outlook of people is dominated by reason or rationality, then it is called as modernity, sir. Okay, being modern men and women, you should be knowing about it. Okay, modernity means it is a period in history when the mental outlook of people is dominated by reason or rationality, then it is called as modernity, sir. Yes, being modern is different from modernity, but in history, modern term is the period in history. So when, okay, so in the mental outlook of people, reason or rationality, they started playing central roles, sir. So naturally you will get a question. Okay, so then what was dominating the mental outlook of people in the period which is prior to the modern period? Huh? Regionalism? Is it regionalism? Theocratic. It means that before modern period, the mental outlook of people is dominated by religion. Church is the most dominant one, or religion. So if the mental outlook of the people is dominated by religion, then it is called as a pre-modern period, sir. Understand this. And if it is dominated by rationality or reason, then it is called as modernity, sir. आपको समझ में आ रहा है सर मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं? Okay, modernity means, so modern history is nothing but it is a period of study when reason dominated the mental outlook of people. So that is our study here, sir. आपको समझ में आया? Yes. So now let's have a look at the syllabus which has been prescribed by UPSC first. Then after that we will go to our own method of studying. We will discuss about it. So syllabus, see this. Okay, syllabus is given there. See the syllabus. So events from 18th century. Okay, what is 18th century, sir? What is the period? 1700 to 1800. Okay, so events from 18th century, that is from 1700 to 1802. Okay, so the later period. Now understand this, sir, carefully. See, such as industrial revolution is one word that has been mentioned. Then apart from industrial revolution, the second word that has been mentioned is world wars. Understand this. Then the third word that has been mentioned is a redrawing of national boundaries. Then fourth word that is mentioned is colonization. Fifth word that is mentioned is decolonization. Then political philosophies like communism, sir. It's not communalism. Please change it. Political philosophies like, it is wrongly printed there, communism, socialism, capitalism, and their forms and effect on society has been included as part of the syllabus, sir. आपको समझ में आ रहा है, sir? So it is syllabus is very simple. It says very simply that events from 18th century such as industrial revolution, world wars, redrawing of national boundaries, colonization, decolonization, political philosophies like communism, socialism, capitalism, their forms and effect on society is the syllabus, sir. Is it clear? So it means that many people initially when this syllabus was given, people started focusing on only the events which have been mentioned here, sir. यहाँ पे जो इवेंट्स मेंशन हुआ था, ओके, उस पे सिर्फ उस पे फोकस करके वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री पढ़ रहा था, सर. बट यूपीएससी, ओके, व्हाट इट डिड इज इट हैज ब्रोक अवे फ्रॉम दिस सिलेबस एंड व्हाट दे डिड इज दे गेव utmost इंपॉर्टेंट टू दिस फर्स्ट वर्ड दैट इज इवेंट्स फ्रॉम 18th century, सर. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? सो दे स्टार्टेड आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस ऑन अमेरिकन रेवोल्यूशन. ओके, देन यू कैन नॉट क्वेश्चन यूपीएससी, इट इज आउट ऑफ सिलेबस. ओके, वो बोला कि इवेंट्स फ्रॉम 18th century. दे आस्क्ड क्वेश्चन ऑन, ओके, they asked questions like what are the factors which led to decolonization in West Africa. एक बार क्वेश्चन पूछा गया. ओके, सो एक बार एक क्वेश्चन आ गया. सो सबका दिमाग तो पूरा आउट हो गया, सर. बिकॉज इफ यू आस्क सम स्टूडेंट्स वेरी स्ट्रिक्टली व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स व्हिच लेड टू इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस, दे विल बी डाउटफुल, सर. वो जाके क्या बोला, वेस्ट अफ्रीका में इंडिपेंडेंस के हिसाब में, ओके, और क्यों वेस्ट अफ्रीका में इंडिपेंडेंस हुआ बोल के उसने क्वेश्चन पूछा. Then at one point of time they asked a question saying that what are the factors which led to the decolonization of Malayan Peninsula बोल के एक बार क्वेश्चन पूछा. ये Malayan Peninsula is Malaysia. इंडियन हिस्ट्री हमको ठीक से पता नहीं है, मलेशिया की हिस्ट्री कहां पढ़ेंगे सर हम लोग? ओके, तो ऐसा क्वेश्चन के हिसाब से what we have done is I have reintegrated this entire syllabus, sir, and I have divided it into a clear course plan. So where one after the other we are going to discuss one after the other event in order to get a clear picture of world history, and we will try to get the capability to answer mainly applied questions, sir. Okay, primarily because just like post independent India, here too UPSC doesn't ask academic questions strictly, sir. They ask applied questions. Applied questions means what? Okay, discuss the impact of French Revolution on global politics of today is the question, sir. समझ लीजिए. ओके, फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन 1789 में हुआ. ओके, आज बोले तो 2020. तो 2020 का उस टाइम का इंपैक्ट अब कैसे है, वो क्वेश्चन पूछा गया. आर यू फॉलोइंग व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से? सो दिस वे दे आस्क्ड अप्लाइड क्वेश्चंस और दे आस्क्ड वेरी रिमोट एकेडमिक क्वेश्चंस हैव बीन आस्क्ड फ्रॉम वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री, सर. तो इसलिए हम लोग इस सब्जेक्ट को ठीक से पढ़ेंगे, एंड इस सब्जेक्ट को ठीक से पढ़ने से आपके पॉलिटी का जो भी बेसिक्स रहते हैं, ओके, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ रिपब्लिकनिज्म, सॉवरेनिटी, सेक्युलरिज्म, सोशलिज्म का क्या मतलब है, तो ये सब हमको ठीक से समझ में आएगा, सर. देन उसके साथ साथ में दिस सब्जेक्ट आल्सो हेल्प्स यू, ओके, इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग, गेटिंग ए प्रॉपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ओवर इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस, सर. Okay, two areas में it is important. One is IR and the second one is polity section. Then along with that, as it is important for history, sir. And that is the reason why world history is considered to be a background subject which will help us in better understanding the other subjects of UPSC, sir. समझ में आया आपको? Yes. So that is with that intention we will first plan our course, sir. So we will plan our course. So first and foremost, in order to understand the modern history of the world, first and foremost we should at least have a brief understanding of, okay, what was the condition of medieval Europe, sir. Okay, because on the conditions of medieval Europe only the modernity has started. So the first discussion or the first topic that we are going to talk about is we are going to do a study of the medieval European, okay, polity, economy and society, sir. And after discussing this medieval European polity, economy and society, we will discuss a very important event from 18th century Europe, so which is called as we will start our discussion with Enlightenment, sir. Okay, Enlightenment will be the start of our discussion, and Enlightenment is an intellectual movement which tried to correct the problems of medieval Europe, sir. Medieval Europe का जो भी problems है उनको break करके, okay, in order to bring in a new idea in Europe, this Enlightenment as a movement it started, sir. In fact, Enlightenment is considered to be the event which signified modernity, sir. In fact, the modern ages, they start with Enlightenment. So that is the reason why first I'll discuss about Enlightenment, sir. Then after Enlightenment, so Enlightenment is, in fact, I told you that it is an intellectual movement. Okay, but will the society change because of only some intellectual ideas, sir? Will it change because of just some intellectual ideas? Okay, the people who are getting benefited from, okay, the medieval times, will they accept the ideas of Enlightenment easily, sir? They will not accept. So, in order to practically implement the ideas of Enlightenment itself, okay, a very important event occurred which is called as the French Revolution. And this revolution is called as a mother of all political revolutions in the world. And this is a very, very important event that we are going to discuss, sir. And this provides us the background for world history. The things we discuss in these two topics, they will form the foundation for the later topics of world history, sir. और ये दो टॉपिक होने के बाद what we are going to do is, you might have heard that this French Revolution has famously given three ideas for the world. Okay, one is called as liberty, the second one is called as equality, and the third one is called as fraternity. Liberty, equality and fraternity. Okay, and from this idea of liberty which has been proposed by the French Revolution, what happened is, on one side democracy has started politically. Okay, democracy is an outcome of liberty, sir. Democracy is an outcome of liberty. Then along with political democracy, listen to me carefully. Okay, I will discuss all these things again also, but focus, sir. Okay, just focus. I am just giving an introduction. So liberty on political side, it led to democracy, and on the economic side, it led to capitalism, sir. Understand this carefully. On economic side, it led to capitalism. Then apart from capitalism, if you look at the idea of equality, the equality idea, it gave birth to socialism in world history, sir. It gave birth to socialism. Socialism is based on the principles of equality. Capitalism is based on the principles of liberty, sir. Are you following this? Then the third idea that has been proposed is this idea of fraternity, sir. What is the meaning of fraternity? Brotherhood. Okay, so is it a universal brotherhood, sir? Is it the brotherhood of all the people of the world? Fraternity is nothing but a national brotherhood, sir. The true meaning of fraternity is national brotherhood, and in fact, this fraternity as a principle, it led to one more important force which has guided the world politics, that is nationalism, sir. Understand this carefully, because fraternity is not the brotherhood of, okay, India and Pakistan citizens, sir. Fraternity is the brotherhood of the Indian citizens only, and the fraternity will be built on the basis of enmity against Pakistan. आपको समझ में आ रहा है, sir? Okay, so I think yesterday match pulp. Okay, so you might have seen. So when I say pulp, you are laughing. It means that you are not considering Pakistanis as your brothers. Are you understanding this? So in fact, fraternity as a concept itself is based on national brotherhood, and it led to the rise of nationalism as an important political force, sir. This way, the guidelines for the global history, they have been laid down by the French Revolution, sir. Okay, one is through liberty, they promoted democracy and capitalism. Through equality, they promoted socialism. Through fraternity, they proposed the idea of nationalism, sir. And post French Revolution, what we are going to do is, we are going to divide the world history into two lines, sir. One is the economic line of history, sir. And in this economic line of history, what we are going to do is, we are going to discuss about both liberty and equality, sir. इन दो आइडियाज के बारे में फर्स्ट हम लोग पहले इकोनॉमिक लाइन ऑफ हिस्ट्री पढ़ेंगे, सर. And in this economic line of history, okay, post French Revolution, the first topic that we are going to talk about is the topic which is called as liberalism, sir. Understand this carefully. Liberalism is an ideology which tries to promote freedom of people, sir. Okay, it is an ideology which tries to promote the freedom of people as much as possible, sir. And out of this liberalism as an ideology itself, there emerged one more ideology that is called as capitalism. Because in our syllabus, different political ideologies, their effect on society has been given, right? Their various forms and effect on society is given. So that is the reason why in economic line we'll start with liberalism. Then after that we will discuss about capitalism, its various forms and effect on society. Then as an outcome of this capitalistic ideology, what happened is an important event occurred which is called as industrial revolution, sir. Are you following this? Okay, one important outcome of this capitalism is industrial revolution. In fact, UPSC has asked two questions on industrial revolution, sir. Two questions on industrial revolution. One is on industrial revolution of Japan. The other one is industrial revolution of England. So, दो question पूछा गया. So, this topic is important. So, in fact, capitalism, it gives people economic freedom, sir. And this economic freedom, it led to the evolution of industrial revolution. But when people are given complete economic freedom, what happens is automatically one of the important outcomes of industrial revolution is inequality in society. Is it not true, sir? In any industrialized society, the owners of the industry will always be richer when compared to the people who work on the industry, right? So this led to the problem of inequality in society, sir. And once this inequality has become a major problem, in order to counter this inequality which is produced by industrial revolution, a new ideology has emerged which is called as socialism, which took inspiration from the same French Revolution idea of equality. आपको समझ में आया, sir? And in socialism, okay, its various forms and effect on society is important for us. So socialism के लिए हम लोग पढ़ेंगे, okay, one socialism which is called as utopian socialism. Okay, the second socialism which is called as Marxian socialism, which is also called as communism, because communism as a term is mentioned in the syllabus. तो Marxian socialism के बारे में पढ़ेंगे, utopian socialism के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. Then उसके साथ साथ में we will read about one more form of socialism which is called as democratic socialism. So ये तीन forms socialism में हम लोग डिटेलली पढ़ेंगे, सर. Then उसके साथ साथ में the socialism's effect on society has been asked. So as part of the effect of the socialism on society, we will discuss about the Russian Revolution. We will discuss about the Chinese Communist Revolution. And along with that, we will discuss about socialism in Latin America, which is also called as 21st century socialism, sir. आपको समझ में आ रहा है, sir? Yes. So this is first liberty, then capitalism, then after capitalism, industrial revolution, and after industrial revolution, we will discuss about the concept of socialism. Socialism का different forms and its effect on society is Russian Revolution, Chinese Communist Revolution, and उसके साथ में Latin America में socialism, sir. And once we discuss all these topics, the economic line of history is completed, sir. Now, if we look at the political line of history is mainly focusing on, okay, this concept of nationalism, sir. Political line of history, it mainly focuses on nationalism. And in fact, one event which preceded the French Revolution, we will start our political history with one event which preceded the French Revolution, sir, which is called as the famous American Revolution, on which UPSC has also asked a question once. Okay, this event is before French Revolution too, but the idea is the same, nationalism. Then after American Revolution, we are going to discuss about the topic of American Civil War, sir. That is the second topic. Then the third topic that we are going to do is we are going to look at, okay, redrawal of national boundaries, because it has been clearly mentioned in the syllabus, right? Redrawal of national boundaries बोल के वहाँ पे है ना syllabus में. So that redrawal of national boundaries is an outcome of nationalism. आपको समझ में आया, sir? And as part of this redrawal of national boundaries, we will discuss about the topics like unification of Germany and unification of Italy, sir. Okay, दो important topics है यहाँ पे, unification of Germany and unification of Italy. And till this time, okay, the thing is, nationalism is a very, very positive and it is a constructive force, sir. Nationalism is a positive and constructive force which was leading to very good things in the world. Okay, it was very good. National unity was achieved. But the problem is, post this redrawal of national boundaries, listen to me very carefully, sir. Nationalism, it started getting converted into a negative and destructive force. Are you understanding this? Okay, have you ever heard this term which is called as excess nationalism, sir? Huh? Extreme nationalism or excess nationalism. So इसको इंग्लिश में जिंगोइज्म बोलते हैं, सर. Jingoism is excessive form of nationalism, okay, where the love of the country, it gets translated into love for more countries, sir. आपको समझ में आ रहा है, सर? Very simple statement. So the love for country, it gets translated into love for more country. Okay, love of my nation, it will lead to, okay, my aspiration that my country should expand its boundaries. Can you give any example for this, sir? China is one. Then Akhanda Bharat in India. Akhanda Bharat is also excessive nationalism, wherein the love for the nation, it gets translated into the idea that, okay, the nation should expand its boundaries and enter Afghanistan on one side and Burma on the other side. Okay, the extent of India should be that. That is Akhanda Bharat. That is what is called as excessive nationalism. It is this kind of excessive nationalism which led to the next major political event in world history, which is called as the First World War. And from here on, the negative aspect of nationalism is very clearly visible, sir. So the First World War is one major event that we are going to discuss as part of our political life. Then after the First World War, okay, we will discuss about this topic which is called as Great Economic Depression, sir. I am not including it as part of the economic line, even though it has economic basis to it, primarily because, okay, it will break the flow of history, sir. तो हम लोग ग्रेट इकोनॉमिक डिप्रेशन फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर के बाद में हम लोग बात करेंगे. यूपीएससी हैज आस्क्ड अ क्वेश्चन ऑन फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर. यूपीएससी हैज आस्क्ड अ क्वेश्चन ऑन ग्रेट इकोनॉमिक डिप्रेशन. Okay, then along with the great economic depression, we are going to discuss about one more form of, okay, nationalism, which is called as ultra nationalism, sir. Okay, extreme nationalism already we know. Now the next form of nationalism is called as ultra nationalism, sir, which is higher than extreme. Extreme itself is very high. Then उसके ऊपर भी है तो, okay, आपको समझ में आ रहा है कि it is very very aggressive form of nationalism, which is called as ultra nationalism, sir. And this ultra nationalism in world history, okay, it has been manifested as fascism and Nazism. So we will discuss about those two ideologies, sir, fascism and Nazism, which are usually called as ultra nationalism, and they are represented by people like Hitler. You might have heard about the name Hitler, right? So they represented this idea of ultra nationalism, sir, fascism and Nazism. That is next topic. Then as an outcome of this ultra nationalism itself, the next topic we are going to talk about is Second World War, sir. Second World War is the next topic. Then after discussing the Second World War, the political line of history, it comes to an end, sir. Is it clear? Then after this economic and political line, what we are going to do is we are going to discuss about this topic, which is at the mixture of economic and political lines, sir. The economic and political line का mixture line भी एक रहेगा, and this mixed line is the line of imperialism or colonialism, sir. This line is called as imperialism and colonialism line. Okay, in fact, usually we tend to use the terms imperialism and colonialism interchangeably, sir. We use both the terms, okay, saying that British colonialism, British imperialism, both of them we use, right? But if you look at from the academic point of view, imperialism and colonialism are a little different, sir. Imperialism is nothing but political control over the colony by an imperial power is called as imperialism, sir. Are you understanding this? Political control is called as imperialism, whereas colonialism is more broad-based term, sir. It includes political, economic, social and cultural control of the colonies. Is British rule in India, can it be called as imperialism or colonialism, sir? It is colonialism because there is a political, economic, culture, social influence, and in fact even today we are continuing under the same influence, sir. Yes or no? Yes, okay, when you are using the term yes also, it is a acceptance of the British colonial influence, sir. है कि नहीं? आप yes बोलने से okay automatically बन गया कि so this is British colonial influence. So this way the thing is colonialism is more broad based than imperialism. Imperialism is mere political control. Colonialism is political, economic, social control, sir. Social and cultural control is called as colonialism. Okay, in India definitely we had colonialism, sir. Now, after imperialism and colonialism, what we are going to do is we are going to discuss the topic of decolonization. Okay, decolonization is one topic that we are going to discuss. Okay, and what do you mean by decolonization, sir? Generally, I am asking. So we will become free from colonial rule. That is the idea, right? So even though the term is decolonization, okay, what does it implicate? It implicates only the end of political control, right? Huh? See, that's what I'll just try to explain this. Listen to this carefully, sir. In fact, we usually call independence of a country as decolonization, sir. But decolonization or independence of the country is just the end of the political control, sir. Are you following this? But the economic, social and cultural control which are part of colonialism, they are going to continue even after achieving independence. Hey, can I, sir? Even today we have the Indian railways running, which is the economic influence of the British colonial state. The social influence of the British colonial state is, what is the social influence, sir? Language, okay, so that we are speaking. Culture, elite club in India, civil services examination. Yes, so there is cultural influence of the British. Okay, golf clubs. Even today in India, in a country which is perennially water deficit, in that country we will maintain absolutely green golf courses, sir. Is it true or not? Okay, so अगर कोई पानी नहीं है तो मर गए तो भी ठीक है. Golf course तो okay, it should not get dried, sir. It should always be green. Okay, so this way the thing is, okay, decolonization, it okay ideally should mean the end of colonialism, sir, but it is a misnomer. It should have been called as de-imperialization. Are you understanding this? It should be called as de-imperialization, but it is called as decolonization. But the thing is, even after the end of the political control, the economic, social and cultural control, they are going to continue even after post-independence period. And this continuation of the economic, social and cultural control after the end of the political control is usually called as neo-colonialism. This term is important. Neo-colonialism is, okay, the continuation of economic, social and cultural influence after the end of the political rule is called as neo-colonialism. समझ में आया आपको? Yes, this is an important topic. Neo-colonialism we need to talk about. So neo-colonialism, decolonization and imperialism or colonialism are the three topics which are part of this economic plus political line, sir. ठीक है? Then इसके बाद में, so post Second World War, okay, so post Second World War 1945, there is an event in world history which is called as Cold War, sir. So this would be our last chapter and last topic, sir. So Cold War, I think you might have heard about the enmity between USA and USSR. The world was divided into two blocks. You remember when I talked about NAM, I told about this. Okay, the world was divided into two blocks and the conflicts between them are usually called as Cold War, sir. And in Cold War, there will be no actual conflict between these countries, sir. That is the reason why the war is called as Cold War. There will be no actual conflict, okay, or no on-ground military conflict, but the conflict will be in various fields like, okay, one is to win over friends to their side. The other one is ideological conflict. The other one is space conflict, sports conflict. Okay, so trade and commerce may conflict. So all of these things are the conflicts which occurred during Cold War. This is also an important event in world history. And यहाँ से questions भी पूछा गया, sir. Once there was a question on Suez crisis. Okay, then along with that there were many other questions also in this section. This is also an important section. And here in this section we will discuss about the events like the Korean War, the Vietnam War, okay, the Arab-Israel conflict, okay, all of these things we are going to discuss as part of our, okay, this Cold War history. Then the end of Cold War, it occurred in the year 1991, sir. And what is the reason for the end of Cold War, sir? Disintegration of USSR, okay, or the fall of USSR is the event which signified the end of Cold War, sir. So we will discuss about the disintegration of USSR too. Then after the disintegration of USSR, the last topic that we need to discuss is the unipolar world order which has been established by the Americans. After the fall of USSR, there was no challenge to the Americans and they established a world order which is called as unipolar world order, where they alone dominated the world politics for nearly 20 years. Okay, for nearly 20 years, they dominated single-handedly the global politics. So this is the period of American unipolar, okay, domination over world politics, sir. And once I discuss here, okay, this will be my last topic, and from here the international relations topic should ideally start, sir. Okay, primarily because the international relations, this starts with multipolarity of the world, sir. From this unipolar world order, the transition to multipolar world order is something which is happening today, sir. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? So unipolar world order means American dominance. From American dominance, single pole dominance, so we are moving towards multi-pole dominance, sir. And our G20 meeting is also an example for the same multipolar world order, sir. आपको समझ में आ रहा है, sir? So this is the case with the world history, sir. So I think you will be getting a fair idea, clear idea about most of the topics which come in newspaper, particularly in the global politics section, once we study about these issues, sir. Is it clear? Okay, so this is the case with the syllabus. Okay, so I will not read through the syllabus, sir, because whatever I have told just now, they will be present as part of the index, sir. के इंडेक्स में वहां पे मैंने सब टॉपिक्स एक के बाद एक ओके सब दे दिया. सो नाउ we will discuss about the first topics for today, sir. The first topic for today is we will conduct a clear cut scientific study about this medieval Europe, sir. Medieval Europe, it in fact provides us the basis for modernity, sir. So that is the reason why we need to understand medieval Europe before discussing about modernity, sir. What is this medieval Europe, and how the situation was present? We will discuss it in terms of polity, इकोनॉमी एंड सोसाइटी, सर. 3 एस्पेक्ट के हिसाब से हम लोग पढ़ेंगे सर मिडिवल यूरोप के लिए. सो एंड वंस वी डिस्कस दीस थिंग्स वी विल गेट अ क्लियर आइडिया एंड दिस प्रोवाइड्स द बेसिस फॉर एनलाइटनमेंट, सर. समझ में आया? सो नाउ आई जस्ट आस्क सम सिंपल क्वेश्चन, सर. यू नीड टू आंसर बेस्ड ऑन योर रेस्पॉन्सेस. आई विल ट्राई टू कंस्ट्रक्ट दिस मिडिवल यूरोपियन पॉलिटी, इकोनॉमी एंड सोसाइटी, सर. सो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम डज मिडिवल वर्ल्ड हैव, सर? Monarchy. So the term which is usually associated with the medieval times is monarchy, sir. Monarchy is the rule by a single person is usually called as monarchy, sir. And this monarchical form of government is the typical form of government during medieval times, sir. And in this monarchical form of government, the sovereign power. What is the meaning of sovereign, sir? Sovereign means highest, supreme. Sovereign means supreme power. The supreme power of the government, it will be in the hands of the king, sir. Then apart from the supreme power being in the hands of the king, there is one more idea during medieval time, that is the king has concentration of all the powers of the government in his own hands, sir. So this is the phenomenon which is called as concentration of powers, where the king is the lawmaker, the king is going to execute the law, and the king is going to sit as a judge over any infringement on the law, sir. आपको समझ में आ रहा है सर मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं? So concentration of power means the king is the lawmaker, the law executioner, and along with that he is also the chief judge is also the king, sir. Judicial, the executive, judicial and legislative wings, all of the powers are concentrated in the hands of the king, sir. Is it all right? So this is the second character of monarchy. Then apart from this, the third character of monarchy is usually most of the monarchies, the governance will be based on the whims and fancies of the king, sir. It means that there will be no limit on the king's power. So whatever he wants to do, he will be able to do. This is called as whims and fancies. Whim means my wish. Fancy means my imagination. मेरा ख्याल में जो आता है मैं वो करूंगा और मेरे मन में जो आता है मैं वो भी करूंगा. That is what is called as whim and fancy, sir. Whim is the मन में आने वाला, fancy means ख्याल में आना. Both of these things I am going to do, and there is no one who is going to stop me, sir. So the governance is based on the whims and fancies of the king. So this is the third nature of the monarchical rule, sir. And usually most of the monarchies and any form of government which is being governed by a single individual, they are more prone to warfare, sir. Understand this very carefully, because the personal ambition of the king, it will translate into war, sir. आपको समझ में आ रहा है मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं? So we have seen it in case of post-independent Indian history also. Pakistan, it fought against India multiple number of times, primarily because it is being ruled by a military dictatorship, sir. Are you following this? So that is the reason why it is called as, so whenever the king ruled states are present, automatically there is higher possibility of war, sir. And here the wars are highly prolonged wars, sir. During medieval time in Europe, we hear of wars like 100 years war. 100 years war means this war was fought over a period of 100 years, sir. There is a war called 30-year war. So 30-year war is one more war. Then 7-year war is one more war. It means that war is one of the chief characteristic trait of any monarchy ruled state, sir. समझ में आया आपको? So this is one more nature. Then along with war, one more important thing about the monarchical rule is, sovereignty, yes. So usually the monarchical rule is heredity, right? So heredity means what? When the king dies, his son becomes the next king. This was a hereditary kind of monarchy, and the king used to get his power to rule. Even though it is hereditary monarchy, the king was supported in his governance by the church. Understand this very carefully. I'll explain this. So the church supports the king in his governance, sir. It means that whenever a king dies and his son wants to become the next king, he has to go to Rome where the Pope was present, and he has to kneel before the Pope, and the Pope is going to place the crown on the head of the next king, sir. And by Pope placing the crown on the head of the king also got the support of, okay, the divine or the king, sir, or sorry, divine or the god, sir. Are you following this? So the church's support to the king is usually known as, okay, this divine monarchy. Divine monarchy means, okay, the church is a representative of God, because the God cannot speak directly himself. So he will, okay, guide his Pope. Okay, Pope is the appointee of the God. Okay, so he is going to crown the king, and this will provide God's help to the king is the idea here, sir. And no one can question the king, because questioning the king would be equivalent to questioning the God, sir. समझ में आया आपको? So this is what is called as a divine rights monarchy, sir. The correct word which is used is divine rights monarchy. Are you following this? And in this establishment of divine rights monarchy, the most important role is played by the, समझ में आया आपको? Yes. So this is the character of the monarchy, sir. Then apart from monarchy, the second important political right of the medieval times is, okay, so medieval times mein the polity is organized on the basis of this idea which is called as feudalism. Here feudalism is the next idea, sir. So divine monarchy, hereditary monarchy, sovereign is monarchy, concentration of powers, then uske saath mein whims and fancies, and war is the chief character. So ye sab, okay, monarchy ka characters hai, sir. Uske saath mein, if you look at the political structure of medieval Europe is based on this concept which is called as feudalism, sir. Okay, feudalism is, I will try to give the simplest possible definition for feudalism. Try to understand this, sir. Feudalism is a politico-economic and social system which is organized on the basis of, okay, land ownership and its derived rights. Understand this carefully. Feudalism is a politico-economic and social system which is dependent on land ownership and the land derived rights के हिसाब से अगर polity, economy and society determine हुआ तो उसको हम लोग feudalism बोलेंगे, सर. आपको समझ में आया? So I'll just give one example. So in a feudal system, politically the most powerful person would be the largest landowner in the society, sir. Feudal law. So the strongest person politically is the biggest landowner is the politically strongest person, sir. Economically, the richest person in society is also the biggest landowner. Are you understanding this? Then socially, the most respected person in the society is also the biggest landowner. आपको समझ में आया सर मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं? And under this feudal system, okay, in all three respects, the highest authority is the king, because the king is the head of feudalism, sir. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Yes, king is the head of the feudalism because he possesses the maximum amount of land under his own control, sir. Are you following this? But the problem is, king cannot take care of all the lands that he possesses, sir. उसका कितना भी लैंड है वो सब उसका कंट्रोल में वो काबू रखने के लिए बहुत मुश्किल है सर उसको. It is very difficult for him to control the entire land. So what he does is he transfers his land ownership right to people who are called as the feudal lords. And these feudal lords will be given territory all across the country. Let's suppose the king is present here. He owns the land around his capital directly. And the rest of the land, what he will do is he will cut it down into small parcels. And each parcel he is going to allocate to one feudal lord, sir. आपको समझ में आया? So once the feudal lord is given the land, automatically the feudal lord becomes the owner of the land, sir. Are you following this? And because the king gave him land, the feudal lord, okay, he in fact expresses his loyalty to the king, sir. It means that he is complete subordinate to the king because the king has given him land. And apart from being completely subordinate to the king, the feudal lord is also supposed to perform some functions for the king, sir. One is from the revenue and money that he collected from his own territory. What he has to do is first he has to maintain a military for the king, sir. He has to maintain a military for the king. Then along with maintaining a military for the king, he also has to administer the region, okay, which is under his control. He will become the chief administrator. Then apart from administering the region, if the king asks him to take up the position of any civil servant role, understand this carefully. Okay, the king is there. I have given some 2000 acres of land to, okay, so let's suppose him in some distant area, sir. In return, he will maintain 1000 troops for me. In return, he will administer the 2000 acre. Then apart from that, whenever I am having a problem with any civil services, okay, let's suppose there is no revenue minister in my court, I'll ask him to come and fulfill the role of revenue minister, sir. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? So it means that the feudal lords are administrators, they are military men, and they are also governors of the provinces which are under their control, sir. समझ में आया आपको? Yes. So it means that the entire administrative system of the medieval times, its positions were filled only by these sections of the society who are called as feudal lords, sir. Are you understanding this? There is no merit-based recruitment, sir, and the feudal system is also hereditary, just like the king system. Feudal system is also hereditary, and here all the civil services posts are also filled only on the basis of being a feudal lord, sir. There is no criteria of merit. Are you following this? And when there is no merit criteria, and when on the basis of hereditary nature, if you are appointing the civil services post, then it is usually called as the second term, sir, aristocracy. Yeah, aristocracy means apart from monarchy, the second one that I am talking about is aristocracy. Aristocracy is a governance system where, okay, the people who possess land, they are going to take up the civil services post, then it is called as aristocracy, sir. आपको समझ में आया? Okay, so I'll dictate, sir, whichever things I'm not are not there in the handout, I'll dictate them, don't worry, just listen to. So aristocracy is a system where the landed magnates, they will possess the civil services posts, is called as aristocracy, sir. Clear? Okay, so this way they established a system of feudalism. Now, a feudal lord is given a huge parcel of land, sir. Okay, will he have the time after administration, governance? Okay, then उसके बाद में military के time निकालने के बाद, will he have the time to cultivate the land himself, sir? उसके पास time रहेगा क्या? He will not have time. So what he will do is the work of cultivating the land, he will give to people who are called as serfs. Serfs, and these serfs are usually called as semi-slaves. They are not full slaves, they are semi-slaves. Okay, primarily the control over these serfs is through, okay, feudal lord being the owner of land. Because feudal lord is the owner of land, these serfs are like forced labor, sir. Forced labor on the king's or on the feudal lord's land, and this forced labor, okay, is usually called as the practice of corvée. Okay, corvée is the practice, sir. The term is used is corvée. Corvée means forced labor by people on a land which is not owned by them is called as corvée, sir. And in India also we had a very similar system during medieval time. And in India the same corvée or forced labor, it is called as vishti, sir. And this vishti has been asked as a UPSC prelims question. Okay, समझ लीजिए मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ. Okay, forced labor by people who don't possess any land, okay, by the feudal lord is called as corvée. Okay, and the person who performs this corvée is called as a serf, sir. Okay, serf is the person who performs the forced labor, and the forced labor itself is called as corvée, sir. So if you look at it this way, then if you see the political structure, you understand this, there is king, yes, and below him there are a huge section of feudal lords, and below the feudal lords there is a large section of, is it clear? So this is the political system of medieval Europe. All the civil services posts, all the administrative and military posts, they were only provided to the feudal lords, and that who will become a feudal lord is determined on the basis of birth but not on the basis of merit. So monarchy at top, aristocracy in between, and on the lower level it is a form of slavery, sir. तो टॉप में मोनार्की है, ओके, बीच में अरिस्टोक्रेसी है, और लास्ट में देयर इज ऑलमोस्ट ए काइंड ऑफ स्लेवरी, सर. समझ में आ रहा है सर आपको? सो दिस इज द नेचर ऑफ द मिडिवल यूरोपियन पॉलिटी, सर. And apart from this medieval European polity which is present within the state, one more thing is during medieval times there was no international institution, sir. Okay, international institution is perennially absent during medieval times. Today we have international institution which mediates between the country. What is it called, sir? UN, right? Yes, but in medieval times the problem is there was no international institution at that point of time to govern foreign relations of the country, sir. So because of no institution, what used to happen is the international relations are conducted on the basis of the principles of, third term I am introducing you to, sir, that is called as anarchy. Okay, what is the meaning of anarchy? Lawlessness. Okay, lawlessness is a situation where, okay, the strong, okay, will defeat the weak, right? When there is no rule, then what will happen? The only rule will be the strong will destroy the weak, sir. That is the only rule of medieval Europe internationally. The strong used to continuously destroy the weak, sir. Are you following this? Then along with that, one more interesting thing about the medieval European world is there was no respect to nationality of people, sir. Nationality of people, it means that what culture the people possess. So this idea of nationality is completely disrespected during medieval times, sir. So I'll show the map of medieval Europe, then you will understand, sir. So when we compare the medieval European map with modern European map, then you will understand the kind of changes which have occurred, sir. So I'll show you the map. So let's see the map. Yes. So what is this nationality? Why there is no respect to nationality? I'll discuss later. So this is the map of medieval Europe, sir. Okay, can you identify the countries of today which are not part of this map, sir? उसमें मैप नहीं है. ओके, आप लोगों को स्लाइड्स में शेयर करूंगा उसके, क्योंकि ये कलर कोडेड है, सर. ओके, मैं देने से भी आपको कोई फायदा नहीं रहेगा वहां पे प्रिंट होने से, तो इसलिए मैंने सोचा कि ठीक है, ओके, मैं यहीं पे रखूंगा और मैं शेयर करूंगा, सर, आपसे. सो देख लीजिए. सो यहां से, ओके, कैन यू आइडेंटिफाई द कंट्रीज विच आर today's modern world nations, sir? Okay, can you see France is one? Okay, then Spain is one country which is almost having the same boundaries. Portugal is one more country. Then apart from that there is England. Okay, but Scotland is separate at that point of time. Yes. So then Ireland is also under the control of England. This is a separate nation. Yes, today we have Northern Ireland as a separate nation from England, right? So then apart from that, apart from these countries, once you cross France, okay, so can you see any country with its national boundaries, sir? Can you see Ukraine, sir, on which today there is so much of conflict? यूक्रेन है क्या वहां पे? यूक्रेन तो था ही नहीं. ओके, सब कुछ किसमें था? रशिया में था. Are you following this? Then after that, can you see this Poland was a very big nation? Okay, then along with that, Poland, it is bigger than the today's boundaries of Poland, right? Yes. Then along with that, is there a country called Germany here, sir? Germany was not there. Then apart from that, Italy as a country, is it there, sir? It is divided into numerous small countries. आपको समझ में आया? So no Germany, no Italy. Poland was excessively big. Then apart from that, during medieval time, can you see the Ottoman Empire extended to Europe, sir? Ottoman Empire is the Turkish Empire, right? But they have occupied most of the Eastern Europe. Essentially, this region is a Christian-dominated region, but the rule is being done by the Ottoman rulers, sir. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? So Eastern Europe में today there are countries here like, okay, so they what are the countries which are present here? So we might have Serbia. Okay, so then along with that we have Montenegro, Macedonia. All these countries are present here. So all these countries are under the control of Ottoman Turkey, sir. Then apart from this, can you see this Hungarian monarchy in the place where we have today countries like Austria, Hungary, Czech Republic, Slovakia. So in all these countries there is one small large empire which has a very big territorial extent, which is called as Habsburg monarchy, sir. समझ में आया आपको? Habsburg monarchy is present here. So this way, in medieval Europe, okay, the problem is there was no respect for the nationality of people, sir. Okay, today's boundaries are drawn on the basis of nationality of people. That is, all Italians are part of Italy. All the Germans are part of Germany. But at that point of time, there was no Germany, sir. Are you following this? All Hungarians are part of one country called Hungary. All Czechs are part of Czech Republic. All Slovakians are part of Slovakia. Are you following this? So it means that during medieval times, there is no respect for people's cultural identity, sir. The boundaries of the countries are determined on the basis of the king's power, sir. अगर मैं ज्यादा powerful है तो, okay, I will control even the territory of people who are different in culture than me, sir. Okay, in this medieval European political map, the boundaries are primarily territorial boundaries but not national boundaries, sir. There are two concepts. One is territorial boundary, second one is national boundary, sir. Are you following this? Okay, so I'll just give you one example. So India has, okay, settled boundaries with Pakistan in some places. Okay, so these are national boundaries, particularly in Punjab, in West Bengal. These are all national boundaries, right? Yes. But at the same time, if you look at Jammu and Kashmir, at both the sides of the border, we have Kashmiris. समझ लीजिए sir. Both the side are, okay, we have people who are Kashmiris, but they are divided by an artificial boundary which is called as a territorial boundary. Territorial boundary means artificial boundary. National boundary means the natural boundary of the people is called as national boundary, sir. Okay, मैं ये सब आपको डिक्टेट करूंगा, लेकिन सुन लीजिए ठीक से. So territorial boundary is the boundary which has been, okay, so drawn by the powers of the king, sir. Whereas national boundaries are the boundaries which are drawn by the people, sir. Clear? Okay, so this is the difference between territorial and national boundaries. I'll discuss them. So now let's have a look at the handout for this section first. पहले handout देखेंगे, उसके बाद में बाकी बात करेंगे, sir. So from when compared to this medieval Europe, I'll just show you the map of modern Europe. Can you see modern European polity, sir? Okay, it is quite distinct from the medieval European map, right? Yes, you have countries like Ukraine, Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. All of these are not present. See the size of Poland. It has substantially come down, sir. Yes. So Germany as a country, Czech Republic, Slovakia, then Austria, Hungary. Then in Ottoman controlled regions, we have countries like Romania. Yes, then Serbia is there, Bulgaria is there, Greece is there. All of these things are under the control of Ottoman Turkey, sir. Then Italy is a nation today, but at that point of time, it was not a nation. We never had countries like Belgium and Holland during medieval time. वो भी नहीं था. Then in England also you can see Ireland has separated from England and they have annexed Scotland into their own country. समझ में आता है sir? Yes. So this is the nature of the changes which occurred, and what we are going to study is we are going to study this transition process from medieval to modern times, sir. ये कैसे transition हुआ वो देखेंगे sir. ठीक है? Okay. So let's have a look at the handout of this section. Yes, you open that medieval age. Okay, one more term which is usually attributed to medieval age is, it is also called as dark age, sir. It is also called as dark age because there was no progress. Society is based on superstition and it is based on religious domination, sir. There you write one statement. There you write one statement. Medieval period in history, medieval period in history is a time, medieval period in history is a time when religion, history is a time when religion and superstition dominated the mental outlook of people, dominated the mental outlook of people in contrast to modern period, when rationality dominated the mental outlook of people. In contrast to modern period when rationality dominated the mental outlook of people. Rationality dominated the mental outlook of people. Okay, so ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई ऐसे ही Okay, someone snapped and suddenly the mental outlook of people has changed. ऐसा नहीं होता है sir. Okay, so usually it takes a lot of process, and the process we are going to study, sir. Clear? Okay, so now if you see, so polity, medieval polity, one is it is a monarchical polity. I told about monarchical polity, right? And its characters are what, sir? One is the rules of whims and fancies of the king, that is called as arbitrariness, sir. Arbitrariness means, okay, ruling according to one's own interest is called as arbitrariness, sir. Okay, so there are two systems usually. One is a law-based system. The second one is arbitrariness, sir. Arbitrariness में, okay, मन मर्जी कुछ भी किया तो उसको arbitrariness बोलते हैं, sir. Arbitrariness, then, okay, in this kind of monarchy, there is also element of corruption. The corruption is nothing but misuse of state funds by the king. Write it down. Misuse of state funds by the king. Okay, we have seen numerous examples of the same, sir. Okay, we will see in French Revolution also. Okay, where the kings, okay, use the public money for the sake of their personal pleasure, sir. Okay, so extravagance, okay, using the public money for the sake of their own personal interest is called as corruption. That is the simplest meaning of corruption also, right? Public money misuse for personal interest is corruption. The same thing was monarchical corruption. Then sovereignty, that is supreme power, was in the hands of the king. Then concentration is also in the hands of the king, sir. Then after that you write hereditary monarchy. One more character is hereditary monarchy. Then after that you write one more character, divine rights monarchy. Hereditary monarchy and divine rights monarchy. Divine rights monarchy and hereditary monarchy. Two terms which are used to define this monarchy are called as divine rights monarchy and, okay, hereditary monarchy, sir. Clear, sir? Then after that, okay, so the system is based on feudalism. Feudalism is a system based on land and land-based rights, sir. Okay, so can we call the Indian society of today as a feudal society, sir? Can we call our system as feudalism? Huh? Somewhat, yes. So our system is called as quasi-feudal system, sir. Okay, so quasi-feudal system, okay, or semi-feudal system. Primarily because if you see, usually most of the politicians, they come from huge land owning communities in many places. Yes, even today economically, at least in rural areas, the richest people are the largest land owners. Socially also the most respect, it usually goes to the landowners. Hey ki nahi, sir? So we are in a transitory phase, sir. Okay, where our system is called as a semi-feudal system. समझ में आया? Okay, but it is not compulsory, sir. Okay, Modi is not the largest landowner in the country. Is he? Okay, Adani is not. Okay, I'm just joking. Okay, yes, sir. Okay, Pandian is the largest landowner in Odisha. Okay, so I want to write the biography of this person, sir. Okay, because I am hearing so much about him. I am fascinated. Okay. Interesting character. So maybe, okay, so that is the case. So here, so the idea is politically, economically, and socially, the largest landowners will be the most powerful people, sir. Did you understand this? So there will be king. So below him there is a vassal who is also called as feudal lord, sir. Add the word feudal there. Feudal lord. Okay, feudal lord. And below them there will be these people who are called as serfs, who are semi-slaves, sir. Serfs and slaves, it is given. You cut that and you write semi. Serf, okay, is semi-slave. Semi-slave means half slave, not full slave, okay, but half slave. Okay, full slave means you should own the person, sir. But here you are not owning the person, you are owning the land, and through land you are controlling the person. समझ में आया आपको? Yes. Not Mansabdari system. It will be compared to the feudal system in India, sir. Samanta Raja system. Mansabdari system is a highly bureaucratized system. I'll talk about this in medieval times. Okay, medieval time का history में पढ़ा होगा तब मैं बोलूँगा. Feudal system is there. Samanta Raja system in India, it is similar to the feudal system, sir. Now, Zamindari system is also not similar to feudal system, because during medieval time, Zamindar is not the owner of land, sir, in India. Zamindar is just the revenue collector. It is the Britishers who converted the Zamindar into owner of land. Are you getting this? During British rule, Zamindar can be considered as a feudal lord. But before that, Zamindar was in India just a revenue collector. Following this? Okay, I'll discuss later about them in the modern India section, sir. Now just have a look at this. Feudalism is also known as the feudal system, was a combination of legal, economic, military and cultural customs that flourished in medieval Europe. This is very formal definition, sir. You don't need to remember it, but just see this. Between 9th and 15th centuries, broadly defined, it was a way of structuring society around relationships that were derived from holding of land in exchange for service or labor. Same thing, sir. Whatever I told, the same thing is given in a more formal fashion here. Then one more thing is there, you write the feudal lords in return for land grant, the feudal lords in return for land grant have to maintain military for king. In return for land grant, have to maintain military for king. The feudal lords in return for land grant should maintain military for the king, should administer the region under their control, and also perform the function of central administrators. Okay, so full stop and you write feudal system is also hereditary. And this makes it aristocracy. Are you following this, sir? This makes it aristocracy. Aristocracy means rule by land owning classes is called as aristocracy, sir. Okay, this makes it as aristocracy. So then after that, okay, so in fact in medieval times even justice also is inclined towards the highest bidder, sir. समझ लीजिए. Okay, so जब भी conflict आता है, okay, what the judge does is, okay, he will start a bidding process, sir. Okay, wherein if one party is able to pay the judge more, then the justice will favor him, sir. If the other party pays more, then the justice will favor them, sir. So this is called as the justice to the highest bidder, sir. Okay, so the thing is, even though at the cost of contempt of court, I will make one statement. Even today in India, the same kind of justice system is present, but the thing is the auction has become informal, sir. Okay, it's not formal auction, informal auction chal raha hai. So most of the courts may usually the judgments are given in this way only, sir. I am not joking. Okay, judicial corruption is something which is not spoken about because of the fear of contempt. Because in classroom there is no fear of contempt. That is the reason why I am stating. Okay, but it is recorded. Okay, but I will leave the fate to God, sir. Okay, I can't help it. Okay, I had to say. Okay. Okay, so I had to say, so that is the reason why I am saying this. So this is the case with the contempt of court, sir, not judicial corruption. So there is the judicial corruption too, and there were many unnecessary wars which led to waste of public funds. There you write, example, 100 years war, 30 years war, 100 years war, 30 years war, all of these things were present. Okay, 100 years war, 30 years war. Then along with that, in the political system, there are no rights to the individual. Okay, people did not have any political right, no freedom of speech and expression, no freedom of association, no freedom of movement, no freedoms are there for people, sir. There are no rights. There are no rights for individual. Okay, and in fact, the political system is failed and undemocratic, sir. Failed and undemocratic because the political system is not fulfilling the needs of people, sir. It is a failed system and it is undemocratic. And at the same time, there is absence of nationalism. There you write one statement as the boundaries of countries are drawn on the basis of king's power. The boundaries of countries are drawn on the basis of king's power and are called territorial boundaries but not national boundaries and are called territorial boundaries but not national boundaries. समझ में आया सर आपको? Okay, क्या बोल रहा हूं मैं? Yes, so the boundaries are territorial boundaries but not national boundaries because they are drawn on the basis of king's power but not on the basis of people's interests, sir. People's interest पे boundary draw किया तो उसको बोलता है, okay, we usually call it as national boundary. If the boundaries are drawn on the basis of the king's interest, then they are called as territorial boundaries. समझ में आया आपको? So then apart from that, there is a church dominance over state. So I told you about Pope. There you write. Pope provided divine sanction for the king. Pope provided divine sanction for king. Pope provided divine sanction for king. Divine sanction for king. Then, okay, even the foreign affairs were also uncontrolled, sir. Uncontrolled foreign affairs, which is called as anarchy. Okay, anarchy means lawlessness. Write it down. Anarchy means lawlessness in international affairs. Lawlessness in international affairs. So this was the situation, sir. Okay, now after that, okay, so we need to have a look at the economy and society of medieval times. So we will discuss the topics and then read the handout, sir. So same way. So now let's try to understand. Okay, so the next one is, okay, let's try to understand first society and then after that we will come to economy, sir. Let's try to understand the society. So in understanding of the society, we need to first understand one basic idea, sir. Okay, one basic idea we need to understand. Okay, just like the Indian society is divided into various castes, the European society is usually divided into various classes, sir. And in European society, usually there are three classes in society, sir. One is the upper class. Listen to this very carefully. The second one is called as the middle class. And the third one is called as lower class. Okay, these are the three classes in society. And when it comes to the upper classes of society, understand this very carefully, sir. Here, the class system is not just an economic classification, sir. Understand this carefully. The class system is, okay, something which we need to understand clearly because it is not merely an economic system. It's not like the richest person will become the upper class. Are you understanding this? The upper class are people who are, okay, in fact, privileged by birth are called as upper classes, sir. Understand this carefully. Upper classes are the people who are privileged by birth, sir. It means that their birth itself will determine, okay, their political, economic and social status, then they are called as upper classes, sir. Okay, let's suppose if a king is there, the king's son is privileged by birth, right? Because he has the possibility to become the future king. Yes. So any person who is privileged by birth is usually called as upper class person, sir. Understand this carefully. And these people, okay, they have their social status on the basis of their birth, sir. Birth के ऊपर अगर social status determine हुआ तो किसी का, उसको बोलते हैं हम लोग upper class बोलते हैं, sir. Then after that the second class is called as middle class, sir. And these middle class people, their position is in life, okay, so understand this carefully, will be determined on the basis of their achievements. If a person's position in life is determined on the basis of his achievement, and if a person identifies with his achievement rather than his birth, then he is called as middle class member, sir. Then the third class that is there is the lower class, sir. These lower classes are the people, okay, so who are in fact mainly, okay, the semi-skilled and unskilled sections of the society, sir. They are semi-skilled and unskilled sections of the society, and usually these are the sections, lower classes, okay, who tend to work only for, okay, their own self-sustenance, then they are called as lower class. If you work only for your self-sustenance and you are semi-skilled or unskilled, then you are called as lower class. If your social status is based on your achievement, then you are called as middle class. And if you are privileged by birth, then you are called as upper class. Understand this carefully. Okay, now most of the members of the middle class sections of the society, understand this carefully, they are the people who are educated or skilled sections of the society, sir. Two categories, education is there, skill is there. And usually middle classes are the people who are involved in occupations like, okay, government profession, that is civil services. Yes. Then along with the government professions, middle classes are the people who are involved in trade and commerce. Because trade and commerce is a skillful activity, right? क्या ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई भी ट्रेडर बन जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं है ना? Okay, anyone you know, if you know any merchant or trader, you observe him, sir. Usually, okay, they are the skillful people, sir. They know what to buy, when to sell. Are you getting this? So this way, they are skilled sections of the society. Then apart from that, the people who set up industries are also called as the middle classes of the society, sir. Understand this carefully. Okay, even the middle classes are also, industrialists are also the middle classes. Okay, one thing for which we can feel happy is, okay, the status of ourselves, okay, is equivalent to the status of Ambani, Tatas. Okay, all of us together we form part of the middle classes, sir. Okay, primarily because in India we don't have or we don't recognize these upper classes in India, sir. Till the time princely states privy purse is present, till that time we recognize the upper classes in society, sir. But once that is destroyed, okay, the thing is we have moved towards, okay, a system which is based on middle and lower classes alone. And in India, today there is no recognition for upper classes. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? So the princely states rulers, they can be called as upper classes, right? Because they are privileged at birth. The Jamindars of Bengal region, can they be called as upper classes? No. Why not? Jamindars of Bengal are definitely upper classes, sir. Yes or no? They are privileged by birth. Okay, otherwise, can you afford to drink your way to death when a single love story fails? Talking about Devdas. In fact, in order to drink your way to death, okay, for failure of a single love story, also you should be privileged, sir. ऐसा नहीं है कि okay, आपका भी ब्रेकअप हो गया, आप पूरा दारू में जिंदगी भर बिताना चाहता है. Okay, so can you do that? You can never do that, sir. Because you can do that only when you are privileged by birth. अगर आपको बर्थ पे प्रिविलेज नहीं है तो ओके लात पड़ेगा सर 2-3 पहले, फिर बाद में भूख लगेगा, ओके भागना पड़ेगा. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? Are you following what I'm trying to say? So it means that upper classes are the people who are privileged by birth and their status in society is based on their birth, sir. It is not based on their achievement. Are you following this? And the upper classes are the people who always depend on inherited wealth, sir. And the best example for this section of the society is the rulers of the princely states, Jamindars. And in European case, the feudal lords can be called as upper classes. The king can also be called as an upper class person. Are you following this? Yes. Then along with that, even in European society, okay, the priestly classes are also called as the upper classes, sir. Okay, priestly class means there is section called clergy, sir. Clergy means the people who work for the church. They are also usually classified as upper classes in Europe, sir. Then after that there is middle classes. Middle classes are the people who are involved in government employment. Okay, they always believe in okay, the idea of achievement, sir. Okay, so that is the reason why even the civil services examination is also a middle class dream, sir. Because that proves achievement. Okay, the highest level of achievement is clearing UPSC examination. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? So then the last section is the lower classes, who are skilled or semi-skilled or unskilled sections of the society who work for the sake of their only sustenance. Are you getting this? These are the sections which are called as lower classes, sir. Usually, okay, you can consider that industrial workers are lower classes, right? Are you following this, sir? So typically in this situation, okay, the upper classes, they will always support monarchy, sir. Understand this carefully. The upper classes will always support monarchy. They will support feudal system, and they will also support, okay, a strong church for themselves. Understand this carefully. They will support church, feudalism and monarchy. Whereas the middle class sections of the society, usually the middle classes always support systems which are called as democracy is one thing that they support. Then apart from democracy, okay, one more thing that they support is the idea of meritocracy, sir. What is the meaning of meritocracy? The people who have merit, they will become the rulers. Merit based, okay, governance power is called as meritocracy. Civil services is the best example for meritocracy, sir. Are you following this? So meritocracy is the second one. And along with that, the middle classes tend to always strongly believe in the idea of capitalism. They always strongly support the idea of capitalism, sir. Primarily because you have traders, industrialists in middle class. समझ में आ रहा है सर? So and if capitalism is present, they will get complete economic freedom and they can grow as much as their merit goes. Are you following this? So that is the reason why they always support strongly capitalism, sir. Whereas the other side, lower classes of this society are present, sir. Okay, these lower classes typically tend to strongly support the idea of socialism, sir. They always tend to strongly support socialism, primarily because socialism, it promotes the idea of equality. And the lower classes demand is always equality, sir. So that is the reason why they become strong supporters of socialism. So I will tell you one example, sir. Typically, the upper classes are the people who want to get selected to the civil services, primarily because they are the sons or daughters of civil servants themselves. समझ में आ रहा है सर? ओके, अपर क्लासेस को क्या चाहिए? ओके, अगर मेरा बाप सिविल सर्वेंट है तो ऑटोमेटिकली आई ऑल्सो शुड बिकम सिविल सर्वेंट इज द आइडिया ऑफ अपर क्लासेस, सर. Whereas the middle classes believe that there should be a common entrance examination, and if I am meritorious enough, I should be selected into civil services is the second category that is called as middle class, sir. Whereas the lower class sections, they believe in the idea that, okay, I will apply for civil services, and everyone who applied for civil services, they should be recruited as civil servants, sir. आपको समझ में आ रहा है इक्वालिटी कैसे काम करेगा? कि आपको सिर्फ एक चीज करना है. Okay, so what you want to do? You have to just apply for the exam. Application means automatic selection, sir. That is equality. So which system is better, sir? Lower class system is the easiest. Okay, it is the easiest, but the thing is, in order to have the real, okay, capability and competition, always the middle class system is, okay, the most efficient system, sir. Whereas the lower class system is the most, okay, pleasing system. It is very easy. Okay, आप फॉर्म भर दिया, okay, immediately IAS का अपॉइंटमेंट का लेटर आ गया आपको. फिर फॉर्म भरा, उसके बाद ही ओके सबमिट करते ही ऐसे ही सिविल सर्वेंट का अपॉइंटमेंट ऑर्डर आ गया. ओके, नहीं तो देखो प्रीलिम्स लिखना है, मेंस लिखना है, इंटरव्यू में जाना है, फिर बाद में सिलेक्शन कब, ओके, तो कब तब तक होंगी कि नहीं भी डाउट है. So that is the reason why it is better to, okay, so lower class system, it looks pleasing to the eye, but middle class system is more efficient, sir, and the upper class system, it is based on privilege, sir. Are you following this? So this is the nature of the ideology of each class, sir. And the world's communist revolutions, most of them are led by the lower classes. The world movements for capitalism and democracy, they are led by the middle classes. And the upper classes, they always support monarchy, feudal system, and along with that a strong church they support, sir. आपको clear picture दिख रहा है ना? Okay, I will show the practical examples of all these things in French Revolution, sir, again. But I think you got a fair idea. Then apart from this class division of society, one more important thing about the society of medieval times is, in the society of medieval times, there is no scope for free thought, sir. In the society of medieval times, there is no scope for free thought. The entire intellectual world of medieval times, it is dominated by church. Okay, and the church as an institution, it supports the sayings of the holy book without any questions. Okay, Bible में जो भी लिखा है, without questioning it, you have to accept, okay, all the things which have been stated in Bible, sir. Okay, but the problem with the Bible is, okay, so in order to follow the sayings of Bible without questioning them, the problem primarily is Bible, even though in the respect of ethics, it contains very good principles. In respect to, okay, the outlook towards world, it has many, okay, pseudo-scientific theories, sir. Bible's primary problem is, it proposes numerous pseudo-scientific theories about the nature of the world, sir. And of these pseudo-scientific theories, one and most prominent one is that the belief that earth is flat, sir. Okay, because of this earth is flat theory, okay, many sailors, they used to always be afraid of traveling far into the earth, sir. Far in the ocean, primarily because they used to feel that they will fall off from the cliff of the earth. Are you following this? So they proposed this theory which is called as flat earth theory. ठीक है, okay, पता नहीं था, okay, चलेगा, ठीक है. Then second theory that they proposed is they proposed a theory which is called as creation myth, sir. Understand this carefully. Creation myth बोल के और एक theory बोला. And in this creation myth, they said that God is the creator of the entire universe, and He created all the species on the world within a span of 7 days, sir. Okay, 7 दिन में, okay, भगवान ने सब species को create किया. Are you following this? Every species in the world is created within 7 days. Okay, and God has created the universe and all the species within it in a span of 7 days बोल के एक creation myth बोला गया, sir. And in fact, this creation myth, it directly goes against the principles of evolution. समझ में आ रहा है सर आपको? So evolution के against जाएगा. Then this flat earth theory goes against the principle of the earth being spherical in shape. Then along with that, this church, it strongly believed that every human being by birth he is a sinner. It strongly believes that every human being by birth he is a sinner. This is the thinking of Bible, sir. And when every person by birth itself is a sinner, the thing is, if he tries to do something which is good for himself, then he will become a bigger sinner, sir. Are you following what I'm trying to say? Okay, आपके लिए आप कुछ काम किया तो आपका पाप और बढ़ेगा. आप बाय बर्थ ही पापी है, और कुछ काम कर लिया तो और जिंदगी में थोड़ा आगे जाने के लिए आप सोच रहे तो आप बड़ा पापी बनेगा. ओके, और आप सक्सेस भी हो गया, उससे बड़ा पापी. ओके, दिस वे द लाइफ ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग, इट हैज इन फैक्ट बीन शोन एज ए सिनर्स लाइफ, सर. देयर इज नो लिमिट टू इट. Step by step, people will become only a bigger sinners rather than, okay, so considering the progress to be a good thing, they will consider progress as a bad thing, sir. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? So in fact, let's suppose I start an industry. Okay, the Bible thinks that starting an industry is a sin. If I become successful in my business, it will be considered as a sin, sir. It believes in the concept that in the world, the best people are the weakest people, sir. Okay, because उन लोगों के पास कुछ पाप करने का ताकत नहीं रहेगा. कोई भी ताकतवर है वो पापी है. आपको समझ में आ रहा है सर? This is the church's thinking. It believes in the concept of human being a sinner, and any action that he does for his own progress will in fact only increase his sin. The best thing to do is to leave all the entire world and just to focus on meditation on God. Then only you will escape from sin. आपको समझ में आया सर? Then along with that, the Bible's thinking is based on the principle that the God is, okay, in fact much bigger than human being. Okay, and the Bible used to give supernatural explanation for every event, sir. Every event के लिए supernatural explanation. So let's suppose there is an earthquake. Consider that it is God is angry with people. Okay, so इतना तक कि when a apple falls from the tree to the ground, people used to say that it is God's miracle. Okay, because of God's miracle only the apple has fallen to the tree. Okay, so अगर भगवान नहीं है तो एप्पल तो ऊपर से वैसे ही क्या अंतरिक्ष में चला जाता था. Okay, they used to explain every event in human life only with the help of the theory of miracles. And when you explain everything through miracle, then automatically there is no scope for science here. समझ में आ रहा है सर? When you think that, okay, behind this earthquake there might be some plate beneath, they might be moving, because of which earthquake might have happened, then that is science. But when the earthquake occurs, you start thinking, अरे मैंने क्या पाप किया कि भगवान मुझे ऐसा दंड दिया. Okay, if you start thinking this way, then what will happen, sir? It will backfire. Are you following this, sir? Cyclone comes, okay, भगवान का anger. Okay, everything if you try to explain through God's miracle, then the problem is there will be no scope for science in human life. That is a main problem, sir. If someone tries to question this church thinking, then immediately, if she is a woman, she will be called as a witch and she will be tied to a stake and she will be burnt alive, sir. If it is a man, usually the punishment is death penalty. Okay, and the most gruesome ways of death penalty are usually imposed, sir. In fact, because someone questioned this flat earth theory, okay, by the name of Bruno. Okay, Bruno is a person who questioned this flat earth theory. He said that when all the planetary objects seem to be spherical, why earth alone will be flat? देखो भगवान का क्रिएशन में सब कुछ okay गोल गोल ही. If you look at earth, why alone it will be flat बोल के उसने क्वेश्चन राइज किया. Then immediately the church caught him and they burned him at stake, sir. He is the first intellectual martyr Okay, intellectual martyr means he died for the sake of his thought. They gave him a chance. Okay, say that earth is flat, we will leave you. But उसने बोला, मैं how can I go against my own intellect? I am sure that earth is round. Then okay, so जला दीजिए इसको. They have burnt him down. Then apart from that, Galileo Galilei is also one more person. So he was arrested and he was put in various kinds of detention for nearly 17 years, sir. His church thinking को question किया तो immediately the church will send its own thought police, and these thought police will suppress all intellectual and scientific thought, sir. There is no question to get out of this. Along with this, one more important thing is, apart from this religion domination, the thing is just like all other communities across the world, the European society is also highly patriarchal by nature, sir. It is also highly patriarchal. Then apart from being patriarchal, patriarchal means a system where men dominate and women are forced to have some obligations, sir. Men enjoy the rights and women, okay, are obligated with the duties, sir. Okay, when I once told this system, one boy in class, he said, okay, sir, it seems to be like a very good system. Okay, so someone told, and I told him to be careful when he goes out of the class, sir. Okay, so I said, okay, so this is a patriarchal system where all the rights are enjoyed by the men, okay, and the obligations are put on women. Patriarchy was also there. Then if you look at the social structure of the medieval Europe, one more important thing about the social structure of medieval Europe, apart from church domination, the division of society into various classes, patriarchy. Okay, so then apart from that, what else is there, sir? Just check it once. I think in society, domination of church is there. Yes. Sin is there. Then apart from that, in the social system, I forgot to tell about something else, sir. Thought police, I told about the church's thought police. Human life and dignity are not given any significance. God is given highest importance. I told about this, right? Sinner concept. Okay, so उसके साथ साथ में, okay, these are the main concerns of the medieval society, sir. So let's have a look at the handout. Then I'll explain more things, sir. So let's have a look at the handout. Just see this. Okay, so that economy I'll discuss separately. Now just have a look at the social structure, sir. So when it comes to the social structure, okay, so feudal lord, king, okay, and serf, these are the three important people. Corvée or visti is the obligation of a free labor towards lord. I told about this. Yes. Then after that, the society is based on a hierarchical system. Hierarchy means what? Someone is superior, some others are inferior, is called as hierarchy, sir. Yes, so this inferiority superiority thing is called as hierarchy. Patriarchal. Patriarchy is a power system which gives importance to male. Male rights dominate over female, then it is called as patriarchal system. There is domination of religious ideology. Religion had influence on state or polity. Yes or no, sir? Okay, one thing is they control the king through appointment of the king through pope, right? Then apart from that, the church also used to have control over the judicial system, sir. Even though the supreme court is the king, below him all the courts are dominated by the church, sir. So there you write one small statement. There you write one small statement. There, okay. The religious authorities had control over judiciary. Religious authorities and they used to sell paradise to the common people. Okay, this is real, sir. Okay, they used to sell paradise to common people. Okay, मैंने बोला था कि if you are doing something, okay, so if you are achieving something, you will become a sinner, right? But there is one provision to escape from your sins, sir. And the provision is what? Okay, you go and pay money to the church. The church will sell you some certificates which are called as indulgence certificates, sir. And once you buy the indulgence certificate, whatever sin you have done, that will be completely, okay, so it will be washed away by in the eyes of God, sir. Yes, so but they have methods to escape from sins, sir, through confession, Okay, so then apart from that, there are some other rituals, okay, which should be done. So then after that, they will escape from sins, sir. Okay, he's asking whether the clergy are free from sin completely. Okay, but they will have some escape clauses. Similarly, people also with money, they can buy that they are being forgiven for their sins, sir. If you pay money, they will sell indulgence certificate. And with this indulgence certificate, you can be sure that you will go to paradise. Okay, so but how can one be sure what happens after death? Okay, 100 indulgence certificate है आपके पास, लेकिन आपके बाद मरने के बाद आप कहाँ गए किसको पता सर? पर फिर भी okay, सब लोग buy करते जाते थे. Even the king used to buy the indulgences. You getting this? Okay, so they used to sell paradise to the common people. Then along with that, religion had predominant role in every walk of life. Okay, they used to dictate economy. Okay, so and also the process of socialization, because education is also under the control of clergy, sir. So apart from judiciary, one more important department which is under their control is education. So because of which reason only this age is called as a dark age. Human life and dignity were not valued, sir. So there you write one statement. The church promoted pseudo-scientific theories of Bible. The church promoted pseudo-scientific theories of Bible. Pseudo-scientific theories of Bible, like number one, flat earth theory. Like number one, flat earth theory. Flat earth theory. Number two, creation myth. Creation myth. Creation myth. Okay, so there you write 7-day creation. So creation myth, 7-day creation. Then number three, what is it? Human being is a born sinner. Human being is a born sinner. Greater achievement, born sinner, greater achievement makes him a bigger sinner. Makes him a bigger sinner. Then, okay, write one more, sir. Okay, bigger sinner. God is immensely powerful. God is immensely powerful than human being. Immensely powerful than human being. Okay, so these are the pseudo-scientific theories that have been proposed, sir. समझ में आया सर आपको? Yes, so these are the various pseudo-scientific theories which have been proposed, which led to a lot many problems, sir. Then after that, the next one is, there was also this thought police, sir. Okay, thought police are, there is no free speech. Anything said against the church is an offense, and the punishment ranged from publicly burning at stake, which was done for Bruno, or putting behind bars, that was done for Galileo. Then there is restriction on social progress, and the church is also a famously corrupt organization, sir. The church is also very famously corrupt organization. So this is the condition of medieval society, sir. See, once we understand these only, we will understand the benefits of modernity, sir. Now, the next one is, okay, when it comes to the economy of medieval times, sir. Okay, the economy of medieval times, this is the last section. Okay, once we are done with this, we'll call it a day today. So we'll just have a look at the economy of medieval times, sir. So when it comes to the economy of medieval times, I think the class structure is not given there. Yes, I talked about upper, middle and lower classes, right? It's not given, but I will dictate it later. Just listen to me. I'll dictate it, sir. Don't worry about it. Now, the thing is, when it comes to this medieval economies, okay, medieval economy mein kya hua? Okay, so I'll just discuss about this. Just listen to this carefully, sir. First and foremost, in medieval economy, okay, there is no concept of free trade and commerce. There is no concept of free trade and commerce. In fact, the trade and commerce is completely restricted by, okay, so the king on one side. The second restriction on free trade is the feudal lords. And the third restriction on the free trade is systems which are called as guilds. Here we will understand how they restricted free trade and commerce. Okay, so this is important for us to understand capitalism. Okay, so first and foremost, let's try to understand why did the king restrict free trade and commerce? Okay, primarily because the king always had an aspiration that the exports from a country should always be more than the the imports into the country, sir. In fact, he wanted a system of trade and commerce which promotes exports but limits imports, sir. Are you understanding this? Okay, by having more exports and less imports, then what will happen, sir? There will be surplus, okay, which is called as, right now it is called as forex surplus, sir. Okay, so forex surplus it is called as foreign exchange surplus. But in the place of forex surplus, at that point of time, if you increase the exports and decrease the imports, what will happen is you will accumulate the precious metals which are called as gold and silver, sir. Are you following this? Okay, so with this intention only, they used to regulate trade and commerce in order to increase exports and decrease imports. This will lead to accumulation of gold and silver within the country, and the kings used to consider that the real wealth of a country is the amount of gold and silver it possesses, is the belief at that point of time, sir. So then according to this criteria, which should be the richest nation in the world in medieval times, sir? India. Because India was always a sink of gold and silver. Where the gold of the world, it used to travel all across the world, and finally it used to come to India, and in India it used to get accumulated in the temples and as jewelry for women. Hey, can I, sir? This was a standard tradition in India. So in fact, they used to believe that a country's real strength will lie in the amount of gold and silver they possess, because of which they used to restrict imports and increase the exports from the country, sir. Okay, iska theek hai. Then the second person who restricts free trade and commerce is the feudal lords. The feudal lords restrict free trade and commerce primarily because they impose tolls on goods when they are being taken from one region to another region, sir. So just understand this. So let's suppose this is a king's territory, sir, and he has numerous feudal kingdoms this way. Okay, so let's suppose this a trader here, he wants to trade with a feudal fief which is present here, sir. Understand this. Now in his travel, first he has to go to the other feudal lord's land, then after that one more land, one more land, and finally he has to come here, sir. Okay, when any good passes through any feudal lord's territory, he used to impose his own taxes, which are called as tolls, sir. And the taxes of the feudal lords are so high that majority of the traders, they never were interested in taking the goods to a faraway distance, sir. Because by the time you go to the destination, what happens is the product's price, it will become 4 times or 5 times, sir. Because you might have paid tolls for so many toll gates. Are you understanding this? So this way, the feudal lords restricted trade and commerce through their own internal tax regime, which is usually called as tolls. Samajh mein aaya? Then one more section which restricted the free trade and commerce are the guilds. Okay, guilds are nothing but they are the association of traders and craftsmen are called as guilds. And these guilds, they restricted free trade and commerce primarily by saying that they are going to determine who is going to produce, what he is going to produce. They will determine how much is he going to produce and at what price it can be sold and what quality of the production should be done. All of these things are determined by the guilds. Understand this carefully. Let's suppose there is a guild, association of iron smelters in Bhubaneswar, sir. They will not permit any other person apart from the guild members to start the same profession. If you start, then the guild will harass you. Are you understanding this? Samajh mein aa raha hai, sir? So there will be no freedom of occupation. Samajh mein aa raha hai, sir? Then uske saath mein, what quality of iron product you have to produce is also determined by the guild, sir. At what price it has to be sold is determined by the guild. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? And how much quantity of production should be done is also determined by the guilds. So this way, the guilds used to have a license permit raj of their own, sir. License permit raj ki humne baat ki na. Okay, so they used to have a license permit raj of their own and they used to restrict the production, sir. So this way, the chief characteristic trait of the medieval economy is that there is complete restriction on free trade and commerce. One by the king, second one by the feudal lords, and third one is by the guilds. Is it clear? Okay, and the kings, when they wanted to increase the export and decrease the import, what happened is they started trading with countries like India, sir. And when they started trading with countries like India, they started losing their gold. Once they started losing their gold, the kings started becoming anxious, sir. अरे हमारा गोल्ड सारा चला जा रहा है, हमको तो गोल्ड चाहिए, लेकिन इंडिया से ट्रेड करने से क्या हो रहा है? ओके, सो दे आर मेनली प्रोड्यूसिंग वुलन टेक्सटाइल्स, okay, and their agriculture is also not very productive. Whereas if you look at India, we were producing different kinds of cotton, silk and woolen textiles. Okay, जो भी natural fibers है उन सब में हम लोग we were making textiles, even coir textiles also we were making. Coir means this, you know, coir, right? So we were making the textiles in everything. Europe had one agricultural season, sir. एक ही agricultural season था. Are you following this? And India had 3 agricultural seasons. Okay, European craftsmen were no match to the Indian craftsmen, sir. Indian craftsmen mastered numerous arts. हम लोग तो craft में बहुत आगे थे हम लोग. So in any case, when we trade with the European world cannot win the gold back from Indians, sir. It's not possible. Then along with that, Indians are also very famously self-sufficient. Self-sufficient means what? They don't want to buy anything which comes from outside the country. बाहर से जो कुछ भी आएगा वो हम लोग नहीं खरीदेंगे सर, हमको जो चाहिए हम लोग खुद यहीं पे क्रिएट करेंगे. बट द यूरोपियंस आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन द इंडियन टेक्सटाइल्स. सो व्हेन दे वर ट्रेडिंग विद इंडिया दे वर लूजिंग देयर गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर, सर. इट इज प्रिसाइजली टू स्टॉप दिस लॉस ऑफ गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर दैट द यूरोपियन कंट्रीज, बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रेशर्स ऑफ देयर किंग, दे स्टार्टेड colonialism, sir. Yeah, because if you take the political control of the country, then you can change the drain of gold, right? You can change the direction of the drain of gold. You are losing gold earlier, but now after I get the control over the country, what I will do? I will reverse the process of drain of gold. Are you following this? So I will loot the territory. Okay, I will dictate the prices. Somehow or the other, I am going to get gold, sir. So in fact, this fascination of the European kings with gold and silver, it led to colonialism, sir. And this fascination with gold and silver is usually called as, okay, this phase which is called as mercantilism, which is also called as bullionism. Bullion means gold and silver, right? Okay, this fascination with gold and silver is called as bullionism, and it is also called as mercantilism, sir. Is it clear? This is the global economic thought before the entry of capitalism, sir. कैपिटलिज्म के पहले ओके जो इकोनॉमिक थॉट था उसको मर्केंटलिज्म और बुलियनिज्म बोलते हैं. वहां पे गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर का अट्रैक्शन रहेगा और उसके हिसाब से ज्यादा एक्सपोर्ट करना है, कम इंपोर्ट करना है. क्लियर? देन फ्यूडल सिस्टम वाज प्रेजेंट. सो नेचुरली व्हेन ओके देयर आर सो मेनी रेस्ट्रिक्शंस ऑन ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स, एवरी विलेज विल इट नॉट ट्राई टू बी सेल्फ सफिशिएंट ऑफ इट्स ओन, सर. ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स करने में इतना रेस्ट्रिक्शंस है, तो ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स से डिपेंड होने के वजह it would be better for us to be self sufficient. हमको जो कुछ भी चाहिए यहीं पे हम लोग क्रिएट करेंगे. So that is the reason why in medieval times the European economies were famously self sufficient, sir. Okay, so then along with that the European traders, they used to only focus mainly on production of luxury products. They only focused on production of luxury products, whereas the Indian craftsmen, they always used to produce things which are required for the common man, sir. Are you following this? Common man products are the Indian specialty. Okay, luxury products are the European specialty, sir. Are you following this? So this was the nature of the medieval European economy, sir. And in this economic system, what happened is primarily with the trade which got extended to Asia and Europe, what happened is in this medieval economic setup, the middle class members who are the traders and the people who are involved in commerce, they started gaining huge profits primarily by trading with India and China, sir. समझ लीजिए. ओके, वहां पे सस्ते में खरीदते हैं यहाँ पे, and they are going to go and sell them at a very costly price in Europe, sir. So because of which reason, okay, because of the trade and commerce with Asia, the middle classes, they started becoming economically very prosperous during medieval times, sir. But even though they became economically prosperous, their social status, okay, so is it equivalent to that of upper classes, sir? It will always be lower than the upper classes. It means that economically you are rich, but socially you are at a very low level. Then apart from being socially at a very low level, the middle class members are also politically at a very, very low level, sir. Primarily because they are not eligible for government service. Government service के लिए कौन eligible है? Only the upper classes are eligible. Middle classes are not eligible. Even though you are the most meritorious person, you will not be eligible for government service. No government service, no political respect for you, no social respect for you. but you are economically very rich. So what will you do, sir, naturally? Huh? Revolt. Yes. The best way is what? Okay, to actually try to change the position, because you have money. Okay, you will try to buy people and you take their help in order to improve your position. आपको समझ में आ रहा है सर? The primary crisis of the European society at the point of time is, even though this system of economy, polity and society they continued from almost 8th century sir. 8th century नहीं 5th century से भी यही situation था सर. लेकिन 17th and 18th century को आने पे वो लोग क्यों रिवोल्ट किया कि primarily because they got money because of the trade with the Asia sir. Okay, now so Sal they were silent and suddenly why they revolted? The revolt is primarily because of the economic prosperity which they achieved through trade with Asia sir. समझ में आया आपको? ठीक है कि नहीं सर? So this is the case with okay the fight against the upper class domination sir. About this we will discuss later. Okay, in tomorrow's class we are going to continue the class for tomorrow sir. Tomorrow most probably I will be able to finish off enlightenment, and along with enlightenment I will also finish off French Revolution tomorrow sir. All right. So let's plan tomorrow's class. Okay, so at 7:30. So we'll meet at 7:30 sir, and world history questions I'll dictate for tomorrow sir, because today I'm not able to cover substantial ground. I'm not able to dictate any question. From tomorrow on I'll dictate questions. Please read through the handout sir. If you have any questions please feel free to ask me. So that's the case. Thank you for your time. Have a good one.